Proportion. A proportion is two ratios which have been set equal to each other. We can read the proportion as A is to B as C is to D. We can write as a fraction. Examples. 1 is to 4 as 5 is to 20. There is direct and inverse proportion. Direct proportion, inverse proportion. Now let's study each one in detail. Direct proportion. There is a direct proportion between two values when one is a multiple of the other. In other words, the term direct proportion means that two or more quantities increase or decrease in the same ratio. It's known that one pizza feeds 4 adults. Then 2 pizzas will feed 8 adults. The more adults, the more pizzas. If John works 4 hours, he earns $20. Then, if he works 12 hours, he will $60. The more hours, the more earn. Look at these proportions. You can do the cross multiplication. Cross multiplication means multiplying the numerator of each fraction by the other's denominator. Cross multiplication is a handy math skill to know. The height of a pile of 10 books is 15 centimeters. What is the height of a pile of 24 books? The height of a pile is proportional to the number of books. The more books, the more height. The cost of renting a car for 4 days is $240. Find the cost of renting a car for 7 days. The cost of renting a car is proportional to the number of days. The more days, the more cost. The mass of a square piece of glass panel is directly proportional to the square of the length of its side. When its side is 30 centimeters, the mass is 1000 grams. Find the mass in grams of a glass panel of side 50 centimeters. The mass is proportional to square of the length. The more square of the length, the more mass. Inverse proportion. There is an inverse proportion between two values when one value decreases at the same rate that the other increases. In other words, if an increase in one quantity causes a decrease in another quantity, or a decrease in one quantity causes an increase in another quantity. Let's see the examples. It's known that 20 men build a house in 6 days. Then 30 men take 4 days to build the same house. More men, less days. Increasing the number of men means decreasing the number of days. The number of men is inversely proportional to the number of days. Two trucks make 9 trips to transport goods from the port to the warehouse. Then 3 trucks the same size make 6 trips to transport the same amount of goods from the port to the warehouse. More trucks, less trips. Increasing the number of trucks means decreasing the number of trips. The number of trucks is inversely proportional to the number of trips. Now pay attention in these proportions. Numerator times numerator equals denominator times denominator. Numerator times numerator equals denominator times denominator. This shows that if you have inverse proportion, each product is the same.